Hi, I'm Chris from MusicRadar.com. We're here on the Keith McMillen Instruments stand with the QuNeo, the multi-touch controller, and Matt's going to take us through some of the features here.
Hey.
Hand over to Matt.
Cool. Well, welcome to this stand. This is QuNeo, and QuNeo is a 3D multi-touch pad controller, meaning that each pad does pressure, X, Y, as well as note on and off with velocity. So when I push on this pad, I'm controlling not just the cutoff of a filter, but with pressure, but also the Q with X and an LFO with Y. So if you look at the screen here, I'm actually turning 3 different knobs and controlling the cutoff of a filter. In addition to that, everything on the QuNeo is pressure sensitive and also does finger position, sends notes, sends CCs for where your finger is. Tapping it can mute tracks. You can get LED feedback from your sequencer, from your DAW, to light lights to show you volume status. The multi-slider or horizontal slider at the bottom, which we use as a crossfader, is also 2-finger multi-touch right out of the box, allowing you to do pinches to control filters, to scale your data coming out, then you can drag, open it back up. Every button is pressure sensitive. Rotaries with more resolution than most vinyl jog wheels, vinyl emulation jog wheels. Also pressure sensitive, send notes, also can do angle from the center. Effects control with pressure sensitivity, and the QuNeo can also be used as a grid of 64 independent pressure sensitive triggers with notes and pressure. So right now we've got it mapped to a step sequencer, and the modes can be played on top of each other. So if I trigger this, now I've got both modes playing at the same time, and I can switch back and forth to them, each mode easily just by pushing this button. That will apply in a much larger way to the production units, which will be multi-mode, including raw modes that you can use with OSC or with your own programs that you write with our included developer kit. But out of box, it's a class-compliant MIDI device that will allow for plug-and-play capability. Standalone functionality, no software bridge needs to be run to use QuNeo. Smart mapping modes allow you to map it to Ableton Live, to Tractor, to Reason, to whatever, easily, dynamically, and on the fly, so it happens in real time.
So what sits in between this? Is it just MIDI? I mean, how maybe could you show us the process of setting up like Ableton, the filter operation as you said? So
I could.
Or is that a
right now we don't have the full controller mapping integrated for this demo because we didn't want anything to get too messed up. It takes we've got hundreds of MIDI things going on with all of our devices, but I can give you an idea by explaining it. If you were to hold this button and tap the pad that takes you into our mapping mode, the colors would display that you are in mapping mode. Depending on the gesture you did, whether it was pressure 3 times or 3 times tap or 3 times rocking like this or 3 times like this, you will send out a different set of CCs
so
for the board. So you just MIDI map Ableton like Apple M or click on the MIDI device button in the top and just put it in coma where the colors will tell you you're in coma mode, which is our controller mapping assistant. And then you would go, okay, I want this to be a note, and tap it 3 times. It'll send that note out. And then every button on the board sends the note initially. Then rock it back and forth like this, sends X. Up and down sends Y. Pinch like that sends the pinch CC. That direction sends.
Really easy.
Yeah, so we've really thought about the way our mappings are going to work because Ableton can only really deal with one number at a time, one note, and so you don't want to have to go in and turn things on and off without being able to do it in real time. You want to be able to sit there and go, okay, I need to make a last-minute change right now. I'm about to play my set. I'm about to DJ. I'm going to do this right now. So all that stuff is we're thinking about it. Plus, it's going to ship with controller mappings for Ableton, like the user remote scripts, if not integrated fully. We have TSI files for Tractor. We just talked to Serato about doing a MIDI mapping for Serato. So we're going to support Reason, all these things. We're going to ship out of the box to support them.
So when is it going to ship, and what's the pricing going to be?
So right now we did this Kickstarter campaign for it, which people have heard about. We got over 1,100% funding. In the first 24 hours, we were past our funding goal. It was within like 12, 14 hours. Anyway, those units, the first units are shipping in March. People can expect them, if they didn't get on board with that, they can expect them in stores in April, to be shipping in April. We obviously have this list of people that's just growing longer and longer. Expected pricing, not expected pricing. Pricing is $249 list, $200 street, $199 street price. So you can expect to get it for $199.
And do you know about UK and European distribution yet, or is that still to be?
I know we have that.
Well,
I don't know who they are.
The
pricing is being set with all that. That's why we're here right now, talking to people, you know.